So here I have opened my Eclipse and I'll launch it. So whichever the drive you have selected, I have selected my D drive. Here once it get open, so we will just here in the last class we have just seen this JDBC 4 and JDBC 5 programs. Now I'll create the another project, so which I'll name it as a JDBC final JDBC 06. So new Java project. Then what is the name of this project? JDBC 06. What is it? 06 I will give and click on finish. Extend this here. Okay, so here it is already showing. I don't require this one. Delete, and this one also I want to make this deleted. It won't be a problem. So here. Okay, now go to the src folder and right click, select the src folder, class name. Where is this? Here. Okay, now package name. So whatever the package name you want to give, you can give it. So I'll just give the com dot vanita keynote. It should be everything in the small letters. So I have given this, and class statement, as we are working for the prepare statement, so I'll give as a pstmt. It's okay. So pstmt example, and I'll click on finish. Yes. So here we have created the project, and now we will see here. We have to be creative first main method, and then we can write the code and code within the try and catch block, right? So I would like to use the try and catch block. Now when you are loading the driver, okay, when the driver loading the driver is like a option, so we have to be follow these steps as we have discussed in the previous session, right? So what is the second step? That we want to open the connection. To open the, like, the connection we have to open, we need to we need the three values. Okay, so first one is nothing but the database URL. So how you will write this database URL? String database URL, database URL, like this here. And we have to be set here how JDBC Oracle thing at the rate localhost 1521 XC, right? And this is the database URL. So next is username. So what is my username? It is nothing but a string again. Username, I'll just give the uname. What is that one? Username is system, right? And so my Variable can be like anyone, alright. So I can give my password now. String pwd equal to admin. Yeah. So we want to open the connection in the try block, but we will close it in the finally block. To use that variable in the multiple blocks, I should declare the variable, okay, outside the block or above the block, right? So how I will do that? Initially, here connection con is equal to null. This is my object. Initially, the value is null. Similarly, prepared statement also. Okay, so prepared statement, prepared PST object, PST empty is equal to initially it is a null. Okay, now let's try start with the try block. So how I will do this? I'll write the try block now. In this try block, how you have to be mentioned con is equal to driver manager dot, we have to get the connection, right? Get connection, third one, URL, user and string password. So here data, username and password, everything we got it right here. Now semicolon, end with the semicolon here. Now you have to be write a query. So string query. So we have discussed here string query is equal to in the double quotes we have to mention insert. We have to be insert the in our SQL, we have to insert our records, right, in the student table. Insert into the student values, which are nothing but the columns which we have to indicate with the question mark. Comma space. This is for second column and okay space question mark close with double quotes close and end with semicolon. Okay, so we should use the three placeholder because I have a three parameters. Now uh, here we have to be use the what we have to use here now preparing the statement, right? PSTMT is equal to con prepare statement. This is our query inside the query. So ends with semicolon. So I need to prepare the query. What happens in this line? Query is sent to the database and it will compiled. And then compiled code will be stored in the object. Which object? PSTMT. Okay. So who will compile this code in database? Search engine, which is called the SQL search engine that we have discussed. This is okay. So this is our object that stores in the PSTMT, and it will compile the code, compiled one search SQL search engine, then return it to the object, which is nothing but the PSTMT. So this is how we have discussed in the last class, right? So here we have mentioned, and now what we have to do now, parameter setting and executing is there, no? Coming to the parameter setting, I need to run this query for once or multiple times. So I can do this multiple times, or I can run this. Okay. So I told 5 times. How many records are there? 5 records. I'll take just only 5 records. So it would be easy for us. And I have to be for this 5 records to we have to be using loop because it keeps in a loop, right? And we have to be using loop. So for that purpose, what I will do first, I'll use the like I have to be using scanner SE because in Java why do we have to be used? I'll tell now. In Java API, we have many packages. In which package this scanner will come from, which is nothing but a Java util, right? Java.util. Scanner sc is equal to a new scanner new scanner system dot in. So it comes from the java.util package. Now you have seen it's clear, right? So for this, I have to be mention the loop, right? First, I need to set the values by the parameters and then execute. So I have a 3 parameters, and 3 parameters are there, and 5 times I need to be set. I would like to take the input from the user because I don't want to use the same record for the multiple times in my table. So inserting the data in table is different, and student records, right? So it should be all the records are different, right? So I have to be use it the 5 times. So how I have to be mentioned for this, I have to be take this scanners. Once I done this, I have to be use the loop. For that purpose, I use the for loop. For how I will mention for int, initially it was a I is equal to 1, I less than or equal to 5, 5 records, and I plus plus, right? So what it will do, it will to take the input from the user, we need to use the scanner. So when the user is executing the program, you should ask the user. If not asking the user like what to do, user doesn't know. User also don't know like what to enter. So program is asking the user or prompt the user to give. Okay, so what it will ask, please enter the ID. Otherwise, user don't know like what to do next. So we have to be display the message to the user. So we will write the SOP statement like SYL. Here I will write SYSO. Here I will mention please enter the student ID in this student ID. Right, in the double quotes I have mentioned it. Now user can understand. Okay, I have to be enter the ID. For that, how it will go to the next line. I have to be use int sid equal to sc dot next int method. Sc dot next int method. Okay, so if you want to use the next line, you can also call. Okay, but again you need to convert the int to the string. So that concept is called the wrapping. For that, you don't need to be apply the integer or the parse it. So that would be okay. Okay, here. So here, in which parameter I need to set? Do I need to set all the time, like only one time? Which method I have to pick on? I told just now, like parameter setting can be done. Which methods? That is nothing but the setx method. So SID is what type of data? it is an integer type of data. So how we have to be set that pstmt dot setting like this, pstmt dot set in. Okay, here this is my first parameter, right? So first sid value. Okay, so here I will mention in the users should understand. What is my second parameter? The second parameter is username. First I write this here. Please enter the student name. My first parameter is done, student ID. My second parameter is please enter student, right here. So here I have to, this is the string value. Name is nothing but the string value. So I have to be indicate it as a string s name. I have, so my second column is s name is equal to sc dot next line. Next line method. Okay, so here we have to be using pstmt dot set string method. So it is a string value set string method. So which is nothing but this second column 2 and s name. Now what is my third parameter here? Marks. Okay, so for that what I will do is first I have to be mentioned the user should understand. Okay, this is now I have to enter my marks. So I'll write here SYS4 student marks. Please enter the student marks. Right. So this is which type of data? Integer. Int marks is equal to sc dot next int method. Right. So this is my third parameter here. Third pstmt. What is my object? Pstmt dot. It is a integer type. So set int. This is a third parameter, third column. So I have to be mentioned here. So all the three parameters is set. After setting the three parameters to the query, can we run this now? Like which method I have to be use? We have to be, I have to call the execute update. Why? Because it is an insert query, right? Now what I will do is I have to be call the method pstmt dot execute update method. So when you are working with the STMT object, when you are doing or you are passing the query as a parameter, but already given here the prepare statement query, right? So here we have given no need to pass the query again. So it is compiled already. Just execute the update method. So parameters like which execute after it successfully, then it execute, then it will return to SO, right? So simple. Two things, yeah, you need to be observed here. So do you know the execute update method? It returns the all the int int values, right? So execute query returns the result set. Okay, and result set, it returns the object. So two things you have to be understand. It's simple, right? So first let me just mention this for the better understanding that Okay, one row is inserted, then user should understand. Row is inserted. Okay, done. By first, so when you are working with the statement object, then what you are doing, you are passing the query as a parameter, but already given here a prepared statement query. So here we have given the, we don't need to pass the query again, it is compiled already, right? So we have already done this, so this is for the loop. So how many times it will repeat? It will repeat 5 times, means user has to enter the data 5 times. Then I'll write the catch block, so it will check the SQL exception. There might be a chance of getting IO exceptions, right? So some other exceptions, so like superclass, or for all the exception which is exception, yes, I had to be mentioned. So here this is just for the end of the loop, and this is end of the catch block. So I have to be right here, catch exception ex, ex is equal to print status or print status, right? So here this is the end of the catch, and now I have to be write the finally, final block. Finally block, in this finally I have to be mention again the try and catch block. In finally, like we have to be use the try because it throws the SQL exception. So in between try and catch block, we have to be use here. I will take the try, in this try block, if stmt not equal to null, stmt not equal to null, then the stmt object has to be get it closed. T dot close, right? If con object not equal to null, then we have to be close. If cons not equal to null, close the con statement, right? So we have done this. Now we have to be catch the exception. So this is for try and this is catch exception ex ex dot print structures. Now this is the done. So here this is a end of the main, and this is a end of the class. Okay, end of the main and end of the class. So end of the class, just look at this code. Like I'm moving, I we have wrote this simple code, and I'm moving up and observe this. Mostly it is like our previous code, but multiple changes in this code we have done, right? To take the input from the user and set the parameters, I'm taking the values and setting it immediately, then execute the update. I hope it's clear for everyone. Like we have already seen this example of the finally, and even here it is too. uh, I hope it is clear for everyone. Okay, so what we do, what what we need to do before running this, we need to add the build path. So this is called the class path. Actually, first we should right click here on our project JDBC 06. Right click, then go to the build path. Here it is, configure build path. Then libraries, class path, add it is already added. Let me show this external OJDBC 11. So open, apply and close. Okay, so it is successfully added. Right. So let's run this program first. Here, let me just maximize this so it can be understandable. Right click, run as Java application. Okay.